Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another video on Python for ethical hackers. So if you remember from our last few videos, we were working on this Mac changer program in which we were taking the arguments or the inputs from the user using this input function. But this is okay if we are doing some interruptions in the middle of the program or doing some social engineering stuff. Which requires doing something in the middle of the program, which stops the execution of the program and then asks the user something and then continue its execution. But in our case, like in the case of Mac changer program, the program is very basic, very simple. So we can also do get the job done by writing something like Python example .py and then specifying the arguments like we do with ls. Like with ls we write --help and it shows us all of the help for the ls command. So we want to do something similar for our program so that when the user comes in and type in Python example.py and then specify the interface like --interface and provide the interface like lan 0 or something like that. So we want to implement this functionality right over here in our program. Up till now what we were doing, just to recap for you, when we press enter it asks for interface and then when we enter the interface it asks for the Mac changer and then change the MAC address for that interface to that Mac changer that we have provided. So instead we want to take another route and provide the interface and MAC address as an argument. So the first thing would be that we sit down and write all of the functionality by ourselves. That is a lengthy process and not suitable for us right over here. And the second way could be to use built-in functionality of the Python, which is either the argparse if we are using Python 3, or if we are using Python 2. So we will use this opt_parse. So right now let's not get into the troubles of which version to use. For the purpose of simplicity and for the sake of easiness, let's use the opt_parse. So what is opt_parse? You can come over to the official docs of Python library, which is right over here. So the opt_parse is a library that would allow you to provide arguments with your written program. You can see all of its explanation right over here, that opt_parse is more convenient, flexible, and powerful parsing command line option than the old get option. So the get option was an old one, and now this is also been depreciated, and you can use instead the argparse. So how can you use that? The first thing would be to import this library in your code, then initialize the class, which is the opt_parser class, and then using that object calling the add option function for initializing all of the arguments or all of the options. So if you don't understand this, don't worry, let's do it practically, and I hope you will understand what I'm trying to do. So as we have talked, the first thing would be to import opt_parse. So the official documentation did that in a bit different way, but that is also okay, and this is also okay. The next step would be to initialize the class. So the class could be initialized by writing parser is equal to opt_parse dot option parser. Okay, so the first thing was that we imported the library. The second thing was to initialize the class. Now we have to add the options. So how can we add the option? We can add the option simply by writing parser is equal to add, sorry, it's not parser is equal to, it's parser dot add underscore option, and inside that option the first thing would be to provide the thing with which we can access or the thing with which we can enter the argument. So in our case it would be -i or comma -- interface. So this would be the thing that we will specify the interface with. Like we'll write either -i interface name or -- interface space the interface name. Now the third argument would be, as you can see right over here, the dist or the name of the variable in which we want to store this interface in, so later on we can access that so that we can later on access that with that name or with that variable. So that would be interface again, and for the help, so it would be dist is equal to, and for the help we want to provide help is equal to enter your interface name here. And we'll close the bracket. So that's all of the arguments we wanted to specify. Now once we add this option, the next thing would be to parse these arguments. So that can be done by writing parser dot parse underscore args. And once I do this and save the program and come back to our other terminal, clear out the screen, and then try to run Python example.py -- help, you can see that it's providing us the required help as we were getting with the ls as well. So if I write ls, so it provides us the help as we were getting with the ls. So how does it doing, like how is it providing us this help? Because we have never specified in our program, if you can come over here and see that we have never specified the help argument right over here. It's providing us this help because it's the default functionality of this class of which we have created the object to provide the help by default. It's also giving us help about the interface that we have specified, that if we write -i or -- interface, we will get the interface from here. So that would be, by the help of this few lines of code, we are now able to come over here and write Python example.py and write either I len 0 or -- interface equal to len 0, and we will get the same input that we were getting with these input statements. So just to recap this simple code again, we imported the opparse library in order to get the arguments from user and in order to handle the arguments of the user. Then we created an object of the opparse library and the class option parser. Then by utilizing that object, we called the function add option and provided -i and -interface argument, and we also specified to store the values entered in the argument in the interface, and if the user requires some help, just tell them enter your interface name here with the interface. Then we initialize the argument by calling the parser.parseArg function, and that is pretty much it for this. In the next video, instead of using this raw input, we'll utilize the arguments and make use of those arguments. Have a pleasant day. Bye for now. Until next time, enjoy hacking. Stay cheeky breaky. Peace.